How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another episode of Previously in DBS, where I go over the week's news in one video at the end of the week, so you don't have to go through bit by bit during it. You can just see at the end of the week all the week's news. And as you saw from last week, we're continuing on with the Set 16 spoilers, carrying on from green and going over some of the rest of the colours. Well, we haven't got all of them, but we've got most of them now. So, starting off with the rest of green in the Universe 7 stuff, we can see the Universe 7 chain. So both Champa and Beerus for the universes, which is 6 and 7, both have a chain representing the fighters in the Champa saga of the Universe 7 vs 6 arc. So we start off with Piccolo, Vegeta, and Goku. Piccolo and Vegeta being the 2 cost, go up in the chain to a 3 cost, and they all have the same. They all have a permanent where they can attack battle cards without barrier in active mode, and most of the green cards in the Universe 7 and 6 have that when it comes to going up the chain. The only difference being that Piccolo and Vegeta also gain power, where Goku does not. So Piccolo and Vegeta both gain an extra 10k as well as that skill, whereas Goku could just attack battle cards in active mode without barrier, which is nice. It's a way for them to attack things to help fulfill the condition to alt win with the Nameless Planet. And then they all have other permanent, a second permanent as well, where if your opponent has no battle cards in play, they gain a certain skill. So Piccolo gains crit, Vegeta gains double strike, and Goku gains 5k power and critical, which is pretty cool. And then Vegeta and Piccolo both have a auto, which most of the cards do, to go up the chain, which is by paying 1 green, when this card is KO'd, you draw 1 card that chooses up to 1 green Universe 7 card with energy cost of 3 in your hand and play it. So most of the cards in green, both 6 and 7, have this, where when they're KO'd, they go up to another green of that universe card with energy cost 1 higher than that card itself. And you'll notice as well, with the Universe 7 ones, they draw a card to go up the chain, whereas the Universe 6 don't, because Universe 6 has a lot more cards to go up the chain, whereas Universe 7 only has these 2 to go up the chain, which is quite interesting. And then for the Goku, his only also is when he's played by a skill, you draw a card. But then he seems like a pretty cool card because he can become a 25 for free energy, 25k double strike crit, and with this chain you draw 2 cards off it because you draw 1 from when the card's KO'd, either Piccolo or Vegeta, and then 1 for the Goku when he's played by the skill, because this is a skill playing it. Then for the rest of Universe 7, we have Monarca, BIUE, and Whis. Whis being the skillless for Universe 7, they both have a skillless, both Universe 6 and 7, and 7's being Whis as a 30k free cost. BIUE is the super combo for green in this set, being the standard super combo of when you unites a 4 or less. When it's comboed with, draw a card. And a Monarca is a nice flavorful card, which Bandai have been doing pretty well recently, where he's just a standard cantrip, play him, draw 1, he's 1 cost, and his other auto is flavorful from the battle in the anime, where at the end of a battle in which this card attacked a hit card in your opponent's battle area, you KO that card. So just like in the anime, when he basically attacked hit, and then spoiled it, hit then realized he was not powerful at all, and just gave the win by turning he got hit really hard by Monarca, knocking himself out the ring. And that's nice to see it as an air where he's got one power and can KO a hit card. That's it for the Universe 7 cards. On to Universe 6. We have the starts of their chain being Batamo and Vegeta, the first 2 fighters for Universe 6 in the anime, in the Champa saga. And then Vados is the skillless one for Universe 6, being the same stats as Whis, being a 30k free cost. So Batamo is the searcher for the deck, where it's when it's played, look at top 5, and you can either add a green Universe 6 card, that's 4 or less, or 1 green Unison card with a specified cost of 1, fitting the theme for looking for almost any Universe 6 card, and the themed Unison, being Vados or Whis. And then they both have the same skill, where by paying 1 green, when this card is KO'd, you choose up to 1 green Universe 6 card with energy cost 1 higher than their cost, and play it. So Batamo going up to 2, and Vegeta going up to 3. And as I said, unlike the Universe 7 ones, they don't draw when they're KO'd. But Vegeta has the same permanent as the previous ones, where it gets 10k during your turn, and can attack battle cards without barrier in active mode. And it's a cantrip where when it's played you draw 1, so you do get a draw from Vegeta. Then for more Universe 6 chain, we have Cabba and Hit. So once again, both Cabba's cards have the same second auto. When they go up, by paying 1 green, if they're KO'd, they go up to the next one. So 2 into 3, 3 into 4. And as you can see as well, Universe 7 only gives up the 3, and their 4 drops are played by different skills, whereas Universe 6 can go all the way up to the 4 drops, because they only have 2 as so far. Well, in this set. The 2 drop has the permanent where it can attack battle cards without barrier in active mode, but it doesn't get any power, so it's just a 10k. So most of them, they got the 15k with that skill. And then we got his first auto is an interesting one where once per turn, add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, draw a card and switch this card to active mode, and it gets 5k power for the turn. So that's a skilled way to get up to 15k like the rest of them. But you've got to attack and take a life to do that. But it can attack twice, and it does draw a card as well, so it's quite interesting. And considering Champa's level starts off at 5 life and has to go to 2 life to awaken, that's kind of beneficial for it. Whereas Beerus is just a 4 life, and it awakens for 3. Then the other Cabba is a critical, and its first also is when this card attacks, choose the one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So this is just like this is one of the conditions we were under the assumption works to fulfill Nameless Planet, where if it attacks and then KOs a card by the skill, it will trigger for a Nameless Planet. We need to see the rule book when the set releases or when the set drops. Just double check to see what the actual ruling is. But at current, that is how it's ruled. And then we have the ever 4 drop Hit to battle Universe 7. The double strike barrier. Its auto is when this card is played, you draw a card and choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO. That's a really good skill. Very good. And it's got a nice activate main to play it cheaper than its 4 energy cost by paying 2 green and your leader being a Champa card, and you have 3 or more energy and no battle cards in play. Play it from your hand. So very cheap and easy to play. And barrier means it's got quite a good amount of protection, and 20k double strike is a standard 4 drops. Then for the last bit of the U6 chain, so last night we have Frost. So he had a more prominent bit in the series apart from Hit. So he's got all his transformations where they were just working out what was going on with him. So once again, the 2 cost and 3 drop, you need to pay 1 green energy, and when they're KO'd, you go up to the next chain, so 2 in the 3 and 3 in the 4. But the interesting thing is that the 3 drop actually draws a card when that happens. The 2 drop doesn't, which is interesting. So it's the only Universe 6 card that when it fulfills the condition to go up the chain, it actually draws a card. The 2 drop also has the same thing of during your turn it can attack battle cards in active mode without barrier, but it only gains 5k, not 10k, so it doesn't go until 15k. But it's got another permanent where if this card is in rest mode and your opponent has no battle cards in play, your opponent's leader card can't attack leader cards. So it's kind of a way to force it. But then what they do is play a battle card to be able to then allow their leader to attack your leader. Then with Frost coming to blows, so this is the first ones as well of blue-green for Universe 6. So it ties in it can tie in quite nicely probably with some of the blue Universe 6, because that's what it's mainly been in. U6 has been in all colours as well, which is pretty cool. It has barrier blocker, and there's no point in going over energy exhaust, because all multicolours have this. You can evolve on top of Frost if you don't want to go up the chain by paying 2 energy, 1 green and 1 of any colour on any time of Frost. And its ever auto is when this card is played, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and discards it. So that's nice. The Frost chain has a bit of a discard on it, which is quite cool. And then for the 4 drop, this is an interesting one because it's a 4 cost 20k, not like most 4 costs are. It's got triple attack. It can evolve as well, but it requires 3 energy, 1 green, 2 of any other colour. And it's got permanent, which the 3 drop doesn't, which is this card can attack battle cards without barrier in active mode. So it's interesting that the 3 cost doesn't have this, but the 2 and the 4 do. And its auto is once per turn, if this card's attack hasn't been negated as the cost, at the end of a battle in which this card attacked a battle card, KO that card, then choose 1 card in your opponent's hand and discard it. So that is a way to fulfill the condition for the nameless planet, and also a bit discard as well. And triple attack means it's going to keep happening unless your opponent keeps negating it. And that's it for the battle cards. Now we got the two extra cards that the last two extra cards for the green. We have Sibling Squabble and Damage Negation. Sibling Squabble just being activate main for 1. If your leader card is a green Beerus, green Champa, you draw a card, and if your opponent has more cards in hand than you, then they choose one card in hand and discard it. Good thing to note is if you draw a card and you have the same amount of cards or more in your hand, your opponent doesn't discard. You've got to have more. You got a draw a card and still have less cards in your hand than your opponent, which is quite weird. And then Damage Negation is a counter attack where you negate the attack, and then you don't take damage from your opponent's non-keyword skills for the turn. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That just avoids most of the burn being through non-keyword skills. And that's it for green. So then we go on to blue. Blue, we saw the another Whis leader, so a second Whis leader, which is pretty cool. And it's got a active main where you just switch this card to rest mode, like most of the gods do. So it's good to see that the gods, the angels, they don't attack to get their effects, as we've seen with both Grand Priest and now Whis. They don't have to attack or go into combat to be able to get effects. So you just switch to rest, draw a card, then you can play up to 1 blue or yellow skillless battle card with 15k power or less. 15k power from your deck or drop area in your opponent's battle area. Then you shuffle your deck if you look through it. So the good interesting thing with that is that it uses yellow skillless as well, which is ties in with the old Whis leader, which was yellow. And then his awaken is when you last at 3 or less, or your opponent's leader's back is facing up. You can draw 2 cards and flip them over. So that's quite interesting using that terminology now for if your opponent's awakened as a condition. Then when it's awakened, it's got an auto once per turn when one of your Beerus cards attacks and KOs an opponent's battle card. Switch up to 1 blue Beerus card in your energy active mode. So this is from the Battle of God saga where Beerus will look for the Super Saiyan God and then bumps into Goku. This is the quite thematic from that, how Whis is there, like with the managing Beerus. And then we have activate main, same thing as the on the front side, well, exactly the same thing as well. So switch to rest, draw a card, then play a skillless. That's blue or green, 15k power in your opponent's, but it's only now from your drop area, not from your deck in your opponent's battle area. So once you awaken, you don't play him from your deck, you play him from just your drop area instead. So that's a little bit of a difference. And it doesn't really get a unison because the unison for blue, the other unison for blue was a Great Priest, and that also works with this. But instead we've also got a Whis calling to order 2-cost blue yellow multicolor, which is an SR after set as well. So it's only a 1-cost 5k combo, 15k power. And it's got blocker, and its also is when this card is played from your hand or at the end of a battle in which this card was used in the combo from your hand, you can add up to 1 skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 from your deck or drop area to your hand, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. Additionally, if it's your opponent's turn, you may play 1 skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 from your hand in rest mode. The interesting thing about that is it's not in your opponent's turn, it's in your it's not in your opponent's. It doesn't specify to your opponent's battle area. It just says if it's your opponent's turn, you play 1 skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 from your hand in rest mode. So you play it into your zone. That's interesting. It's weird how the leader plays it in your opponent's area in the rest mode, but this card plays it in your battle area. It's a bit odd. Then the other leader we had is the Son Goku going into Super Saiyan God, Son Goku the Crimson Warrior. So on its front side, he's got an activate battle, where if this card is in battle, you choose 1 Saiyan card in your hand, discard it. So that's any Saiyan card, doesn't matter what color. You draw 1 card, then add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and you get your skill for the battle. It's a bit like a Hercule kind of thing mixed with Invoker, but unlike Hercule, you have to combo. You just have to discard a certain card, then you draw, and it's to get it for the battle. And you can also, so that's a good way to help you awaken if you want to, by taking a life. You can choose, because it says up to, you don't have to take a life. But then its awaken is when your life is at 2 or less, so a really low awaken, or you place 5 Saiyan cards from under this card in your drop area. Then you may draw 3 cards, switch up to one of your energy to active mode and flip this over. So it's got the same kind of awaken strength as Invoker, where you untap 1, draw 3, and it's got a good alternative awakening, which is easily fillable by just going into 5 battles, just putting 5 Saiyans under it from your drop. And you discard those with the activate battle anyway. So you filter through your deck pretty well, and you've got a way to awaken on high life, which is cool. Then when it does awaken, it now has an auto where when its card attacks, draw 1 card, then switch up to one of your mono blue energy to active mode. So it's like a mini Soul Striker. He's got a swing, draws 1, and then untaps 1, and being mono blue as well. Then it's got an activate battle where once per turn you place X cards from under this card in its owner's drop area. X meaning you choose how many cards you want to place under there. This card gets 2,000 power for the battle for each card placed in the drop area using the skill. And additionally, if you place 3 or more cards in your drop area using the skill, you draw a card and untap 1 mono blue energy. So that's kind of cool. You can either do it 5 times, or you can do it 3 plus more to get that extra draw and untap as well. And then the UNISON for this, what looks to be for the Goku, is SSG Vegeta Silent Strike. So there's a 2 specified cost 15. It's got on power blue 3, which as we've seen, if a blue Unison card, if it replaces a blue Unison card as it enters play, it can carry 3 of its markers from the previous Unison. Then it's got 2 mark skills, a +1 and a -X, where activate the +1 is activate main, draw 2 cards, then choose 2 cards in your hand, place them at the bottom of your deck in any order. So that's interesting. You don't gain anything. You're not plussing. You're just drawing 2 and replacing 2 cards in your hand with 2 new ones. And is activate main for every 2 markers you remove using this skill. You choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, place it at the bottom of his owner's deck in any order. And additionally, if you remove 4 or more markers using this skill, it gets plus 10,000 power and double strike for the turn. So it's not as good as ever blue Unisons. Like I don't see this being better than the hit Unison, but still quite interesting nonetheless. And then we got some of the blue Beerus cards. We've got Whis Leader. So the first one we have is a Beerus Belligerent God. He's a 1-cost like Saiyan Kaba, whereas once per turn, add a card from your life to your hand. When it attacks your opponent, when it attacks an opponent's battle card, you switch this card to active mode, and it gets plus 15k power for the battle. So a good way to trigger the Whis Leader on the Awakened side. And then we have the 2-cost Beerus, and it's interesting it goes up to 20k instead of 15, and that's quite cool. And then we have Beerus Aesthetics of Annihilation. It's got a permanent where this card can't be KO'd by your opponent's skills during your turn, being a 2-cost 15k. And then also, if once per turn, if your leader card is a blue Whis, when this card attacks and KOs an opponent's battle card, draw a card, then switch this card to active mode, and also untap a blue Beerus card in your energy. So it's quite interesting how it doesn't say mono blue energy or mono blue energy. It's just a blue Beerus card in your energy to active mode, which means if you've got a blue, yellow, or multicolor Beerus card in your energy that's also blue as one of its colors, you can untap that. And then we have the 4-drop Beerus Ruthless Sword, an SR for the Whis deck. It's a 4-cost 20k, 1-cost 10k power, double strike, and 2 auto skills which are both limit 1. Limit 1 meaning that you can activate cards. You can activate the skill on multiple copies of this card more than once per turn. So once you use it on one, you can't use it on any others for the turn. So the first one is when this card attacks and KOs an opponent's battle card, switch this card up to one of your blue energy to active mode, and the other one is if your leader card is blue. And this card is in your combo area where one of your blue battle cards attacks and KOs an opponent's battle card. You draw 1 card and play this card from your combo area. Interesting to know that it comes from your combo area, not from your drop. That's quite interesting. It's a bit different than some of the other ones. Then we have more of the blue Whis, blue Beerus cards, plus with some blue Whis support. So we've got 2 Whis 1-drops, both being 4k. First one, Rejuvenating Support, has an also of when this card is played, look at the top 3, and then add up to 1 god card among them to your hand and place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. And it's interesting how this can work with the Grand Priest deck as well as the Whis deck. And it's got an activate main of limit 1 for 1 blue and 1 of any colour, and you place this card in its owner's drop area. It's got to be from the board as well. You choose up to one blue Beerus card with energy cost of 2 in your hand, play it, then switch up to one Great Priest or blue Whis card in your leader area to active mode. That's quite interesting because it means, I can't remember if if it's once per turn for the leader's effects, but I think they are, so otherwise that'd be pretty nutty. So I know the Grand Priest I think is once per turn. I can't remember if the Whis is once per turn. But then we have the Ever Whis 1-drop being Beerus' backup. It's 2 autos, with the second one being a limit 1. When this card is played from your hand, you choose it to one blue Beerus card in your battle area, and it can attack battle cards with that barrier in active mode for the turn. So that's quite cool, giving that kind of like green Universe 7-esque kind of effect. Now you attack things inactive if your opponent doesn't play things in attack with things. And then the Ever Auto is if this card is in your combo area, when a blue Beerus card in your battle area attacks and KOs an opponent's battle card, draw a card. So that's pretty cool. You can play it, then give the effect of one of your blue Beeruses the ability to attack things in active mode, as long as it doesn't have a barrier, and then attack with that Beerus, combo this off, and then get a draw with the attack goes through and KOs an opponent's battle card. This is quite interesting synergy. And then we have a blue yellow Beerus. I think we saw this. No, we didn't see this week. This has just come out this week. But it's a 2-cost 16k double strike. 2 autos. First one being when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch to the rest mode. So a good way to make sure it's gotten a target to attack. For its second auto, when this card attacks and KOs an opponent's battle card, and this is once per turn as well, you draw a card, switch this card to active mode, and place one card from your opponent's life at the bottom of the deck. So that is pretty busted. It can come down, tap something down so you can attack into it, especially if you get those little 1-drops that some decks kind of play, the little cantrips. You also draw a card, replace itself, and then switch it back to active mode to swing with it again, because it's double strike, and then basically crit them, in a sense, crit them a life. Doesn't get a drop, but it gives the bottom of the deck, which is just as good. And then we have some blue skill lists that go with the deck. So we've got Mogian and Planet Mogia Monster. So a blue monster card, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you had that already. And then more aliens. And a bit disappointing by these because I was interested. I like the red Mogian alien support that we had in Draft Box 1. Doesn't seem like we're getting anything close to that soon anyway. But still, there's skill lists to go with the Whis deck, and yeah, we always get new ones in each set. Then we have the blue stuff for the Goku deck. So first one we have is an SR for the deck, of the archetype, being SSG Son Goku Miraculous Transformation. This is a big one. So it's a 6-cost, 20k, 1-cost 10k combo. It has Deflect, Unique, Triple Strike, and Barrier. So Deflect and Barrier being 2 skills that, in my opinion, should never be on this card. It should either have one or the other. And it's got Counter Attack, where you negate the attack and play this card in rest mode. And 2 permanents. First one being during your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each card in your opponent's energy. Which means as soon as you get to turn 3, because it's got a free specified cost, it becomes a free cost for the rest of the game. And the other permanent being if your leader card is mono blue and this card is in rest mode, which comes out when you use the counter attack, your opponent can't attack battle card. Your opponent's battle cards can't attack leader cards, giving you a pseudo, giving yourself a deadly defender essentially, as well as negate. So you negate leader swing because most people swing with the leader first, and then the battle cards can't attack your leader, have to attack this. And being 20k, you've got to put some combo power into it with most cards. So there's a really good super rare. It's quite interesting. A really good one for the SS free Goku deck as well. Super Saiyan free Goku. Or the reboot anyway, because the original's banned. And then we have the counter that people were speculating after seeing it from the trailer and hoping it would be something along the lines of the quarter counter play, which sadly it's not. So it's SS Vegeta, the Interceptor, free cost 20k. Dual counter. If your leader card is blue, play this card. That's it. It would have been nice if we had. It would have been nice to see if other colours get counters in line with the quarter counter. And it's also when this card is played, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and place them at the bottom of their owner's decks in any order. So that's not too bad, but it's not great. Counter and then negate. That doesn't stop the counter, just plays itself, and then you get in the bottom deck 2 of your opponent's cards. Doesn't go through barrier though, and being a dual attack 20 card is not too bad, but it's not what people were expecting. Then we have Son Gohan the Interceptor. A barrier 2 costs 10k. With it also once per turn you switch to the rest mode. When you take damage from an opponent's attack, switch up to one of your energy, the blue energy, to active mode. Then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than the current energy and return it to his owner's hand. So that's interesting. A bit costly being it too, but has a pretty cool effect. And with barrier, I mean it's going to be hard to remove from the board. Then we have some more blue support with the Interceptors for Trunks, Goten, and Videl. Goten and Trunks being the ones where when you attack you take a life, those Self-Awakeners. Goten's being, well, he's got 2 autos. First one being add one card from your life to your hand. When it attacks, it becomes a 15k for the turn. And then the other auto being at the end of your turn, switch to active mode. So similar to the Red Piccolo from Draft Box 5, that was the same thing. Then for Trunks, it's add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, it becomes a 15k for the turn. And then at the end of your turn, switch it to one of your mono blue energy to active mode. So that's not too bad. You can play this, swing for a Self-Awakener, and then untap the energy you use to play it. So that's pretty interesting. Both of them, I feel, are going to be good additions to the cube. Then we have Videl the Interceptor being the super combo for blue. Also has a permanent where it gains Saiyan in all areas. Which is pretty cool because as it being from Battle of the Gods, she was pregnant with Pan at the time. So having Pan inside her means she's got a bit of Saiyan in her. And it's a standard super combo where if your leader is blue and you last 4 less, when it's using the combo, draw 1 card. Nothing more to say about that. But then we have more of the Blue Goku stuff, being the harness power cards. So these are the ones that work pretty well with the leader's effect of placing cards underneath it. They all have the same, well, Goku and Vegeta I know have the same auto when this card is using the, when it's, Goku's is at the end of a battle in which this card was using the combo from your hand. Play this card from your drop area in rest mode. So a bit different from the rest of them. Whereas Vegeta's is when this card is using the combo, just in a combo from anywhere. Choose up to one of your opponent's one card in your opponent's combo area and return it to his owner's hand. So a bit like a Jacko from the early sets. And Gohan's being for 1 blue. If your leader card is blue at the end of a battle, in which this card was using the combo from your hand or drop area, play this card in rest mode. So it's like a one of the combo the play cards, but being only a 5k and then 1 blue to be able to, 1 energy to play itself. The Goku's activate main is once per turn for 3 energy. You place 1 Gohan, Goten, Vegeta, Trunks, and Videl card under this card from your drop area. And you play SS Goku, SS Son Goku Miraculous Transformation, or SS Goku, SSG Son Goku Legendary Spirit in your hand to play it on top of this card in active mode. I can't remember what these cards are. I think they're, let's have a look. So one of them is the SR from the set, and the other one I think is the pre-release promo from a set or 2 ago. The Goku that came with the Shenron Unison. I think that's two sets ago. Which, is an interesting one to add to it. It's pretty cool. And then the second auto for Vegeta and Gohan is the same, where if your SSG Son Goku Crimson Warrior is in a battle where there are no cards in your combo area, when your leader card skill places this card in the drop area from under your leader card, use this card in the combo from your drop area. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool way to do it. Just if you use the effect to gain that 2k power by dropping off a card from underneath it, you can combo one of these, so you basically get 7k power, combo power each time you do it, if you do it one at a time, because you need to have nothing in your combo area to do this. And then we have the other ones, being the harass power for Goten, Trunks, and Videl. These are the ones that have counterplay skills. So Goten is counter attack, and you get your attack and play. Trunks is just play. And Videl is counter attack, burst 1, and you get the attack and play. With Videl also having that permanent as well on this card, that gains Saiyan in all areas. The first auto on Trunks and Goten is the same as well, where you burst 2, or also burst 2 when this card is played. You choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards. Goten is with an energy cost greater than the current energy, return it to the owner's hand. Whereas Trunks is energy cost of 5 or less and return it to his owner's hand. And once again, they all have the same auto as Gohan and Vegeta, where if they're placed in your drop area by your leader's skill, being the new Goku card, and there are no cards in your combo area, then they get comboed, which is pretty cool. And then we have the blue extra cards. So we have the Legend of Super Saiyan God, Carefree Playtime, and Realm of the Gods, Beerus Destroys. So every color has a Realm of the Gods extra card. So with the Legend of the SSG, it's a 1 cost, activate main burst 1 if your leader card is blue, and you choose 1 blue Saiyan card in your hand and discard it, draw 2 cards. So that's pretty cool, I feel, for Blue Dende, which I'm going to try out with. Let's see if I can play that back. Play it again, maybe for Fight Night or something. It's an interesting card, bit of draw power as well. Carefree Playtime is quite a cool one. It's a counter for Blue Beerus, where if one of your Blue Beerus cards is attacking an opponent's battle card, negate the counter attack skill and switch it to one of your blue energy to active mode. So that's pretty cool, but only works if a Blue Beerus card is attacking an opponent's battle card, which is what the Whis deck wants to do. And then for the Realm of the Gods, Beerus Destroys. It's nice that Beerus gets his Realm of the Gods card, given that Champa got the green one. To activate battle, if your leader card and all your energy is blue, you choose it to one of your cards and it gets 10k power for the battle, then you choose 1 or 2 effects. If it's your turn, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost greater than their current energy and place it at the bottom of the opponent's deck. But if it's your opponent's turn, you draw a card, so you still draw from this, which is pretty nice. Then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 2 or less to place at the bottom of the opponent's deck. So if it's your turn, you don't get the draw, but you get the bottom deck something bigger than energy. But if it's your turn, you get a draw still, and you don't get that extra 5k, you get the bottom deck of 2 or less. So it's quite interesting. Most of them get have the old 15k becoming, and this one just gets a draw, which is cool. Then we have some of the yellow ones. So we got yellow as well. So we got all of blue, the rest of green, and a bit of yellow as well. Well, mostly yellow this week. So as we saw from the trailer, Trunks is one of the yellow leaders. Being on its front side, he's got the auto when it attacks, you draw 1, standard. And the activate main, where if you have 2 or more energy and you choose 1 yellow Vegeta card in your battle area and place it on the discard, flip this card over. If you do, you draw a card and add a card from your life to your hand until you have 6 life left. But if you don't want to do that and you just want to awaken normally, it's when your life is 4 or less, you draw 2 cards and flip over. So no untapping energy for this. And then when it is awakened, it is now Vegeta and Trunks, being SSB Vegeta and SS Trunks, Father Son Onslaught. It's now got 2 autos in activate battle. Its first auto is when its card attacks, you may draw 1 card. Note that it says may, because if you don't, you can choose up to 1 yellow Vegeta, yellow Trunks future, or yellow Bulma future card with energy cost of 1 in your hand or drop area, and play it in rest mode. So similar to what we had for the I think for one of the Android decks a few sets ago. And it's also got another auto once per turn. When a yellow battle card activates its EX Evolve skill from your hand, you draw a card. So that's pretty cool. And an activate battle, which is only 1-time use from what I've seen so far, is a once per turn, place 1 card from under this card in its owner's drop area. This card gets 10k power and double strike for the battle. So there's a way for you to make your leader a one-time use of being a 25k double striker for an attack. So it's quite interesting, but there's, like with the we saw for the blue Goku, there doesn't seem to be any way to put additional cards under the leader, but then the TPs may change that, because we haven't seen those yet, or the SPRs. And then for the unison for this archetype is Mai opposing the Divine. So it's a 1 specified cost yellow unison with empower yellow 3. It's also got an auto of once per turn when a yellow battle card activates an EX Evolve skill from your hand and a marker discard. So it's got a way to gain markers quickly by using the Evolve skills. Then its marker skills are +1 and -4. The +1 is a draw card, then choose 1 card in your hand and place it at the bottom of your deck. So no inherent draw, like plussing a card. Just draw and replace it with something from your, basically just replacing the card in your hand with a new one, and then bottom deck something. But then its -4 is activate main, draw a card. Then choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and they can't be switched to active mode until the end of their next turn. So basically locking down 2 battle cards and drawing 1 for 4 markers. And then for the other one, the one I've been really interested in after seeing the trailer, it was this and Green Beerus being the Whis Zamasu leader. So we got Zamasu on its front side. Also, when this card attacks, add up to 2 Dragon Ball cards from your deck and or life to your hand and shuffle you any areas you look through using this skill. It's interesting that it has an attack and not just, well, it's good that it's got attack and not just activate main. Switch the rest of us on that because he's an actual character, not a Shenron. And then his wish is quite interesting because it's when your life's at 3 or less, or there are 7 Dragon Balls in your drop area, so you're not going to be locked out to not be able to awaken because you can't get all 7 Dragon Balls. So you have an alternative way to do it at 3 life. You draw a card, then place all Dragon Ball cards from your drop area at the bottom of your deck in any order and flip this card over. So that's quite interesting. That goes more in tandem with what wishing does with the Dragon Balls in the anime, where you gather the 7 Dragon Balls, you make a wish, and the Dragon Balls scatter. And then when it does wish and flip over, it's now just has an activate main with once per turn. You choose 1 or 3 effects. You have a draw card, or you add up to 1 Dragon Ball card from the deck to your hand, finish off your deck, which if you're playing the old Dragon Balls, which is the 0 cost black ones that just draw a card, you're going to be doing that instead of the first one, because you're then filling 2 cards of your deck, searching a ball and drawing 1, using that ball. And the other one is remove 7 Dragon Ball cards in your drop area from the game, and if you do that, you play up to one Zamasu card with an energy cost of 2 or less and indestructible from your warp, and this card gains triple attack for the turn. So no draw, you just play a 2 cost Zamasu, which is not color restricted, so it could be the counterplay one from the chat pack, which you then draw your card and rest something, and this card gains triple attack for the turn, which could be useful. And do note that you don't flip back over, which is quite cool. So unlike most wish leaders, well, apart from Meki, it doesn't flip over after you use the ultimate skill. And then the unison for this archetype is Rumshi, Universe 10 Supporter, and Power Yellow 2. And as Auto and 2 marker skills, the Auto being if this card has 4 more markers, when this card is played, you draw a card, then choose all your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO them. That's pretty cool. It's almost like the Trunks Unison from a few sets ago. But you just play it, 4 markers, draw a card and pop. And then its first marker skill is +2. Activate main, place up the 2 Dragon Ball cards from your deck in your drop area and shuffle your deck. So that's really good for any yellow wish leader, which currently I think we've got 4. No, sorry, I think we've got 3, being the Sorbet and the Frieza, the Dende and the Piccolo, and then this one with only really the Dende Piccolo, and this one being viable much, well, in a competitive sense anyway. So it's a good way to get markers down, and having that also is quite nice. And then it's got an activate main ±0, which is interesting and pretty interesting support for a yellow blue Universe 10 deck. You play up to 1 Zamasu card from your energy, well, 1 Zamasu card with energy cost of 1 from your deck, and then shuffle your deck. And there's 2 targets I know of. There's the one from set 2, I think, which is look at top 7 to grab a Zamasu card from them, or there's the one from the draft box where activate main, you look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and rearrange them in any order, which is a good one. I know Tom is going to be interested in maybe for his U10 stuff. And then for some support, we got some yellow Vegeta cards, having a 1 cost, 3 cost, and a 2 cost, which is the super combo for the deck, which is different than the rest. It's a Sparking 5. So we have a yellow Sparking 5 one where just as long as you've got 5 cards in your drop, when you combo with this card, you draw a card. When the 1 drop, this is the one that you're going to be mainly wanting to use with the leader to play and then put under it to get that auto awaken. It's a Barra 1 drop, 4K, sorry. Its auto is if your leader card is the yellow Trunks Future. When this card is played, you choose 1 of 2 effects. You either draw 1, or you play up to 1 Trunks Father-Son Teamwork from your deck or drop here with its non-keyword skills to get it for the turn, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. Interesting thing with this is you can use your leader attack, choose to play this from your drop, then use this also to use a second option to play a Trunks from your drop area if you've already got on your deck, and then that Trunks will draw a card. So you still get a draw, but you'll get a Vegeta and Trunks card as well as that, which works with these EX Evolve skills. So that's pretty cool. Seems like quite a strong leader already off the bat. And then we have SSB Vegeta Future on the line, which is the free drop, 20k, EX Evolve for 1 energy, for 1 yellow energy anyway. You draw a card on top of a yellow Vegeta with energy cost of 1. It's got 2 autos, first one being when this card is played using EX Evolve, use it just to active mode, and then the other one being when this card attacks, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignore and barrier and KO it. So that's really good for dealing with things like the barrier cards like the Yellow Slug, the Yellow Goku, and other cards that are annoying that barrier. So the first two that come to mind because they're really taxing. And that's it for the Vegeta ones. Then you have the yellow Trunks ones, having the same kind of thing: a 1-drop, 3-drop, and then a 2-drop. That's like not really working with the archetype. Being Trunks is being a skillless, which is interesting. He works with the Tapion TP Unison that we had for the support the set 10 archetype. Played off that because it's a 2-cost Trunks Future, and that doesn't specify color for that Tapion Unison. So the Trunks 1-drop has the same skills as Vegeta, but instead of you play up to a Vegeta instead of Trunks. And then the SS2 Trunks Future on the line is a 3-drop 19k with Barrier Blocker. EX Evolve for 1 yellow energy, draw 1 card, Yellow Trunks Future with energy cost of 1. Same first auto as the Vegeta, where you switch to activate when you play it. But its second auto is once per turn, if your leader card is a Yellow Trunks Future card, when an opponent plays a battle card or Unison card, choose it and switch it to rest mode, which is quite cool. And just like with Poutine, it triggers on the first attempt of it as well. So as soon as your opponent plays 1 Unison or battle card, it has to use that one. Interesting enough as well, this works with the there's probably some of the Yellow Trunks Future from whichever set that had the Future Gohan lead in could work pretty well with this leader as well. And then we have the boss monster that is relevant for why you can play Swing with Lead and play a Vegeta which then plays a Trunks, because the boss card for Yellow Trunks being SSB Vegeta and SS Trunks Father Son Bonds. So 8 cost 35k, 1 cost 10k combo power, critical with 2 activate skills, a battle and a main. Activate main is for 2 yellow energy if you have 3 or more energy and you choose 1 yellow Vegeta and 1 yellow Trunks Future card in your battle area. Play this card from your hand and place the chosen cards under this card. And that's relevant because the activate battle, where limit 1, you place 2 cards from this card in this drop area, which is the 2 cards you put under to play it. You draw a card and choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO them, and this card gains triple strike for the battle. So that's pretty strong. Be on the drop for 2 energy as soon as turn 3, easily set up to fulfill the conditions by your leader, and then when it attacks, dropping off the cards, replacing itself from your hand by drawing a card, popping 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, as long as you're out of barrier, and then becoming a 35k triple strike critical, which is very good. It's really good and is looking to be quite a strong deck for the Trunks. But then we go, there's also some yellow Goku cards as well, having a 1-drop being Son Goku facing Goku Black. So there's an auto, is the searcher for this one, like we saw with the what's it called? I can't remember what the guy's called from Universe 6 now. But he's the same kind of searcher thing as that. Oh yes, it's Batamo, that's the one. Whereas when it's played, look at top 5, you get up to a yellow Saiyan card with entry cost of 4 or less, or 1 yellow Unison card with specific cost of 1 to your hand from them. Then activate main once per turn, Spirit Boost 1. Spirit Boost meaning you got to take that many markers off in it as written in the skill, being 1. From your Unison to trigger this, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with entry cost of 2 or less in rest mode and KO it. Then the other one, SSB Goku, Future on the line. It's a 5 cost, 20k, dual attack, EX Evolve for 2 energy on a yellow Son Goku with energy cost of 3 or less. Interesting enough, we didn't get shown in the reveals a 3 cost or less Goku that I am aware of. Might have missed out because thinking about it, probably was one, but I have missed it. Same auto as the other ones, which switch to active mode when you use the EX Evolve. And its second auto is once per turn, Spirit Boost 1. When this card attacks, draw 1 card and choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. And then we have some of the support for Trunks, being the Bulma Future on the line. So this is also an auto when this card is played, draw 1 card. So another way, if you don't play the Trunks or Vegeta or don't have them, you can still draw off the Bulma by playing the Bulma as well. And she's got an interesting activate main, a useful one as well, which is limit 1. If your leader card is a yellow or a mono yellow Trunks Future card, and you discard this card from your hand, you look up the 7 cards from the top of your deck, and up to 1 yellow Vegeta, yellow Trunks card with energy cost of 3 or less, among them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. It's a nice little searcher like we saw with the yellow androids for Super 17, ones that you can discard from your hand to search for stuff, which is quite cool. And then we have a skillless Yajirobe That's a 1 cost 10k. But it's the Azure of your future. And then we have the last ones. We have the last yellow cards in the set. We have a little glimpse when we had the last battle cards anyway. A little glimpse when we got revealed today the Zamasu Goku Black Wish Leader. So we got Zamasu self-supported, 2 cost 10k, indestructible, 2 activate skills being activate main limit 1 for 1 yellow energy. If your leader card is the Zamasu or Goku Black card, add this card from your hand from your warp. That's pretty cool, just 4 energy, grab this back from your warp. And activate battle where you send this card and 1 Goku Black card from your combo area to its own warps, draw a card. Don't know if this will be handy, but it could be handy, similar to how the Broly BR cards work. Well, the cards that support the Broly BR arrival back sets and sets ago. We're able to combo them, then use it. If you didn't need to use it for combo, use effects to sack them off in your combo area to do skills. And then we have the Zamasu Divine Condemnation, which was revealed in the strategy guide, being a 5 cost 20k, unique indestructible blocker, Aegis blue yellow once per turn. Aegis meaning that during your defensive combo step, you can discard a blue card and a yellow card, or just a blue yellow card, to untap 2 energy. And then an auto which goes with it, where when you activate your Aegis blue yellow skill, you choose one of your opponent's non-leader cards, switch to rest mode. Non-leader meaning you can be battle card, unison, or energy. And then an easy way to get it in, because you're not going to pay 5, being activate battle for 1 blue and 1 yellow if your leader card is a Zamasu or Goku Black card, and there is at least 1 Zamasu card and 1 Goku Black card in your combo area. Play this card from your hand. So this is a nice way to not trigger the next 9-drop we're going to see, and the old blue 9-drop from set 10, without having to have use the old blue 5-drop, because it requires less cards to use. Have on board to do that, and also having Aegis blue yellow means it's a lot more handy. And then we have the SR for the Zamasu deck, being a Zamasu Exterminating Force, being a 9-drop, 35k, with unique, double strike, indestructible, and blocker. An EX evolved skill to go over a blue Zamasu, energy cost of 5, but paying 1 blue, 1 yellow, and 2 of any color. Also still has Aegis blue yellow. A really good permanent, where if your leader card is a Zamasu or Goku Black card, and you get this card's energy exhaust skill in all areas, which means you can go with the new leader blue yellow and not have to worry about ever having your energy rested because of this and the Zamasu counterplay that we had in the chat pack. And then it's got an auto where when this card activates this blue yellow Aegis, draw a card similar to the old Bojack arrival, and then you switch this card to active mode, and which is handy because it's a blocker. Then you choose up to one of your opponent's cards and switch to the rest mode, meaning any card, meaning leader, unison, energy, or battle card. That's a really strong one. And as I said, the other option was the 9-drop one from that you can evolve on top of that. This 5-drop from set 10, which gives you the overground strategy, which is something I'm going to be trying out because I've been looking forward to this, seeing what this leader does since the trailer. And then we have the yellow extra cards, being first one, Coercion, which is has a permanent, which is discard gains Dragon Ball in areas. So every time we get a Wish Leader, we get some form of new Dragon Ball card that can be used with it, or just use in general. And this is the one for this set. It's being a 0-cost yellow extra card. With an activate main of if your leader card is a yellow Shenron Zamasu or yellow Shenron Goku Black card, you may choose one card in your hand and send it to the warp. Then if you do, draw 2 cards. So this is a good way how turn 2 you can make use of that Zamasu we just saw, where you use this turn 1, warp the Zamasu, draw 2, then you pay 1 yellow energy that you've got for turn 1 that you might not be able to use to grab back that Zamasu, so you lost nothing but draw 2 cards. It's really good. And that's a Dragon Ball in the drop for your leader's Awaken as well. Then we have Shadows Aligned, 1 cost yellow energy, negate, which is counter attack, negate the attack. But if you don't want to use that attack, you've got an activate main, which is a searcher type effect, being look at the top 7 cards of your deck, add up to 1 yellow Saiyan card with entry cost of 4 or less from them, and then shuffle your deck. So a nice searcher to go with that. Pretty good card for Cube as well. And then we have United in Will, which is a 2-cost extra card. Permanent, this card gains Desire in all areas, with an activate main of play up to 1 Zamasu card with entry cost of 2 or less with Indestructible from your warp. So it's interesting how there's a Desire card for this Zamasu Goku Black Wish deck, but it can't play Desires for free, because that's something that the Ever Wish leaders could do. Interesting and quite funny as well. And that is it for the yellow cards. We have one last card, being the last secret rare revealed in the set, as Bandai put up a post saying about his delivery and shipping issues around the globe, and they can't do anything about that, so they've pushed back the set by like a week, I think it was, and they apologised for that. They apologised and also showed us the last secret rare, and it's probably, along with Vegeta, a contender for the God Rare. So it's Supreme Card of Time, Brainwashed, being an 8 cost 40k. It has Ultimate, which all secret rares have, and Double Strike and Servant. If you don't remember what Servant does, it gives the card an extra 10k power, so it's technically a 50k power, but it doesn't switch to from rest mode to active mode during your untap step at the start of your turn. It's got an activate battle where for 1 black, if you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand. That's pretty cool. And also has an activate main / battle card by way of paying 1 energy. If your leader card is black, so this effect only works with a black leader. And you remove this card from the game until the start of your next turn. Your opponent can't attack with battle cards or unison cards unless they choose 1 card in their life and place it in the drop area each time. So that was really strong. When I first read that, I thought it was just from hand. I was like, that's pretty crap. But after rereading it, it's from life. So during your opponent's next turn, they're going to have to crit a life just to attack with unison cards or battle cards the next turn. But I think there's quite an interesting combo with this, where there's the Great Priest Super Rare from the Draft Box 5, which can play itself for 1 blue energy as long as you've got 3 or more energy by bouncing back 2 gods from your battle area to your hand. So the thing is, with this, you can play it for 1 black, swing with it, being a 50k double strike, then bounce it back for that Great Priest, which is a 20k crit, and then replay it again and swing it again because it doesn't have that permanent, like most secret rares, or when it's removed from the battle area, when it's removed from the battle area, it's removed from the game, it's by a skill instead. And that is it for the this week's news. So that is all the reveals. We got most of them. Now we just got to look forward to the rest of the Goku Black deck, which will be probably tomorrow. And then after that, we got to look forward to the multitude of SPRs in the sets. There's a lot more than normal. There's less SRs, but there's a lot more SPRs. And also the TP cards as well. We're going to get to see soon. But that's it. That's all from me today. Thank you for watching. If you have watched through this, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Comment down below if there's anything you want to see or anything I've missed. I think I did miss that free drop yellow Goku, but I'll remember to add that for the next one. And also feel free to subscribe. It helps me get to my goal of 1,000 subs, which I'm a quarter of the way there, and also helps me out and lets you keep up to date when my videos drop as and when, and especially if you click the notification bell when you subscribe as well. It helps you get notified when my videos drop. But once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.